Hello friends and welcome. In today's lecture, we shall talk about student welfare auxiliary services including school health services. The main objectives of today's deliberation are to impart knowledge about student welfare services, to familiarize students with school health services, to orient students to assess the usefulness of health education, to enable students to understand the need and importance of physical education, and lastly, to gain understanding about the need and importance of school guidance services. To begin with, let me give you a brief introduction. Student welfare refers to the promotion and maintenance of good learning, good mental and physical health, as well as social well-being of students and conditions which are conducive to these. The provision of welfare services in school is essential to students' sense of self-worth and the development of their identity, and in the achievement of the goals of the school and to develop their potential to actually take their place in the world. It fosters the personal and social development of the individual, and it is a prerequisite for students to be in an effective learning situation. Students who have achieved a sense of belonging and acceptance are well placed to apply themselves to the learning task. To guide individual development in the social context within and beyond the school is the major aim of education. It is therefore important for schools to establish policies and practices which provide for the pastoral care and welfare of all students. This need is particularly important today because of the social problems which have emerged in a society of rapid change. Student welfare, therefore, should be the basic aspect of the work of all those involved in education. Student welfare encompasses everything that a school community does to meet the personal and social needs of students and enhance their well-being. Student welfare is integral to all aspects of school life, and schools must aim to ensure that a safe, supportive and congenial environment and culture is created and maintained so that the experience of teaching and learning is enhanced for all students. Three important components in the establishment of such environment are the provision of school health services, the provision of physical education services, and the provision of guidance services. First of all, let us talk about school health services. The school health program is defined as the school procedures that contribute to the maintenance and improvement of the health of pupils and school personnel, including health services, healthful living, and health education. School health services contribute to the goals of the education system and the health care of students. The purpose of school health services is to ensure that all students are healthy and ready to learn. School health programs consist of three related components: school health services, school environment, and health education. The school health services comprise of first screening of general health, assessment of anemia, nutritional status, visual acuity, hearing problems, dental checkup, common skin problems, physical disabilities, learning disorders, behavioral problems, etc. Next, immunization. Immunization is the process whereby a student is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by the administration of a vaccine. Vaccines stimulate the body's own immune system to protect the person against subsequent infection or disease. Next is surveillance. Surveillance is the continuous systematic collection, analysis and interpretation of health-related data needed for the planning, implementation and evaluation of health practice. Health surveillance allows for early identification of ill health and helps to identify any corrective action or treatment needed. Thus, surveillance can serve as an early warning system for impending public health emergencies, document the impact of an intervention or track progress towards specified goals, and monitor and clarify the epidemiology of health problems to allow priorities to be set and to inform public health policy and strategies. Next, deworming. Deworming is the giving of an anthelmintic drug to a human to rid them of helminth parasites such as roundworm, flukes and tapeworm, etc. Next is management of micronutrient deficiencies. These include management of iron deficiency, management of vitamin A deficiency, etc. A healthy school environment attends to the physical and aesthetic surroundings and to the school's psychosocial climate and culture, thus protecting the health and safety of students and staff and promoting health-enhancing behaviors. Physical environmental concerns include the school building and the area surrounding it, indoor and outdoor safety hazards, biological or chemical agents that might be detrimental to health, air temperature and quality, water and food quality, sanitation, precautions for infection control, lighting, noise levels and access for persons with disabling conditions. The psychological environment includes the interrelated physical, emotional and social conditions that affect the well-being and productivity of students and staff, including physical and psychological safety, positive interpersonal relationships, recognition of needs and successes of the individual, and support for building self-esteem in students and staff. Those who manage school environment also need to actively encourage health-enhancing behaviors by assuring unadulterated food and water services, providing convenient and appealing opportunities for physical activity, and conducting educational campaigns to promote positive health behaviors. Health education is vital for students as it enhances their health awareness, skills and encourages them to adopt positive attitudes towards their well-being. Health education does not only concentrate on being healthy, it also focuses on emotional, mental and social health. Health education improves students' health status and boosts up their knowledge about physical, mental, emotional and social health. Educating about the importance of health motivates the students. As a result, they strive to improve and maintain their health, prevent diseases and avoid unhealthy behavior. Instilling the importance of good health in schools helps students to make healthy life choices when they grow older and continue doing so throughout their lives. It helps them to understand the dangers of using illicit drugs, smoking and drinking alcohol. It helps students to prevent themselves from various injuries, diseases such as obesity, etc. Health education also educates students about stress management techniques and helps students to overcome their stress. Health education programs use skill-based instruction to teach students about important health behaviors like healthy eating and physical activity. Moving on, now let us shift our focus to school physical education services. Physical education refers to the instruction in the development and care of the body, ranging from simple calisthenic exercises to a course of study providing training in hygiene, gymnastics and the performance and management of athletic games, especially in schools. Physical education plays a critical role in educating the whole student. Many research studies conducted in India and abroad support the importance of physical activity in educating both mind and body. Physical education contributes directly to development of physical competence and fitness. It also helps students to understand the value of leading a physically active lifestyle. The benefits of physical education can affect both academic learning and physical activity patterns of students. The healthy, physically active student is more likely to be academically motivated, alert, and successful. In the preschool and primary years, active play may be positively related to motor abilities and cognitive development. As children grow older and enter adolescence, physical activity may enhance the development of a positive self-concept as well as the ability to pursue intellectual, social and emotional challenges. Throughout the school years, quality physical education can promote social, cooperative and problem-solving competencies. Quality physical education programs in our schools are essential for improving and developing motor skills, physical fitness and understanding of concepts that foster lifelong healthy lifestyles. Physical education is unique to the school curriculum as it is the only program that provides students with opportunities to learn about motor skills, methods of fitness and gain understanding about the importance of physical activity. Physical benefits gained from physical activity include disease prevention, safety and injury avoidance, decreased morbidity and premature mortality, and better mental health. The physical education program is that platform where students learn about all of the benefits gained from being physically active as well as the skills and knowledge to incorporate safe, satisfying physical activity into their lives. Thus, physical education is a planned, sequential curriculum and program of physical activity taught in schools. Physical education should promote lifetime activities and sports that students can enjoy and pursue throughout their lives. Physical education needs to be taught by qualified teachers. Studies have found that well-prepared physical education specialists teach better and higher quality lessons than those not professionally trained in physical education. Elementary schools should provide daily periods of supervised recess. Middle and high schools should provide multiple opportunities for all students to voluntarily participate in intramural programs, sports and recreation clubs and interscholastic athletics. Research studies have found that students who participate in extracurricular programs tend to have higher grade point averages, better attendance records, lower dropout rates, and fewer discipline problems than other students. Participation in physical activity has been associated with decreased anxiety and depression, improved self-esteem, decreased psychological stress, and reduced drug use. Conversely, lack of physical activity has been associated with anxious and depressed symptoms, social isolation, social problems, withdrawal, obesity, etc. Children learn through a variety of modalities, for example, visual, auditory, physical. Teaching academic concepts through the physical modality may nurture children's kinesthetic intelligence. Academic constructs have greater meaning for children when they are taught across the three realms of learning, including the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. Greater depth and relevance can be achieved when the subject matter constructs are related to each domain of learning. Many research studies have proved that children engaged in daily physical education show superior motor fitness, academic performance and attitude towards school versus their counterparts who did not participate in daily physical education. Physical education learning experiences also offer a unique opportunity for problem solving, self-expression, socialization and conflict resolution. Regular physical activity improves functional status and limits disability during the middle and later adult years. Physical activity contributes to the quality of life, psychological health, and the ability to meet physical work demands. Physical education can serve as a vehicle for helping students to develop the knowledge, attitudes, motor skills, behavioral skills, and confidence needed to adopt and maintain physically active lifestyles. The outcomes of a quality physical education program include the development of students' physical competence, health-related fitness, self-esteem, and overall enjoyment of physical activity. Quality physical education programs enhance the development of both competence and confidence in performing motor skills. It also enhances the feeling of well-being and efficacy. These outcomes enable the students to make better decisions and choices about leading a healthy and physically active life. Here it is pertinent to mention the need and importance of physical education services. First, linked to good health. Physical education promotes a physically active lifestyle. It is only through a well-organized physical educational program that students can understand the value of healthful living by taking care of themselves through proper grooming, healthy eating, and regular exercise. Next, proper physical growth. Physical education has important potential for helping the children to develop and maintain a state of fitness to acquire physical skills. It is a program for development of muscles and bones. The purpose of physical education is to instill in students at an early age the value of self-preservation and choosing a lifestyle that is good for both the mind and body. Next is preventive measure against diseases. Obesity, a serious health problem among many children, can be partly solved by stressing on physical education. Obesity can lead to many problems such as diabetes, heart problems, and imbalances in hormones in children. Encouraging physical education in schools will help to control the problem of obesity to a great extent. Physical education in schools is a preventive measure to teach students the value of regular exercise. Children who are enrolled in some form of sport or the other reap the benefits in the long run. Next, relief from daily routine. Physical education in schools also serves to distract the children from a set routine and provides relief from the tedious hours in a classroom. Short periods of physical activity can be a good way to relieve some of the pressure that is bound to build up in a classroom. Next, stress relief. Children have to cope with different types of pressure in the classroom, and engaging in some form of physical activity can be a good way to relieve some of this stress. After a stressful day at school, playing some form of sport is a good way to release some tension. Next, motivating future sportsmen. Some children show signs of interest in sports from an early age, and these prodigies should be encouraged and given the proper amount of guidance in schools. In our country, several children are restricted from playing sports despite showing signs of early excellence because of academic achievement concerns. With proper support and systems in place, children will be able to bring out the best in themselves, and they may even go on to represent their country at some point in the future. Thus, encouraging physical education in India is important, and schools must realize the potential benefits that can be achieved from just a few hours of activity every day. Next, confidence building. Excellence in some form of sport or physical activity will provide children with confidence. Introverted children will be able to express themselves through sports, and this is one of the main aspects of physical education in school. Children who are allowed to take part in inter-school games and sporting events meet new people, and this builds confidence and also builds a sense of companionship and comradeship. Children who take part in team sports will be able to visualize themselves as being a part of a group, and this will be beneficial when they are a part of work groups in the future. Physical education in India has to be encouraged, and schools have to understand the importance of having a separate period for physical activity. Next, developing the qualities of cooperation, teamwork and sportsmanship skill. Physical education contributes not only to physical fitness but also to physical efficiency, mental alertness and the development of certain qualities like perseverance, cooperation, team spirit, leadership, sportsmanship, obedience to rules, moderation in victory and balance in defeat. Now let us talk about school guidance services. The student life is getting complex day by day. Guidance is needed to help the students for optimum achievement and adequate adjustment in the varied life situations. One of the main functions of school guidance services is to help students in the identification and development of their abilities and interests, to understand their own strengths and limitations, to do the scholastic work at the level of their ability, to gain information about educational and vocational opportunities and requirements, to make realistic educational and vocational choices and plan based on a consideration of all relevant factors, and to find solution to the problems of personal and social nature. School guidance services also help the teachers to understand their students as individuals and to create situations in which students can learn more effectively. Education is expanding its frontiers, making it well nigh impossible for an individual student to make a choice of courses and careers without expert guidance. There is an urgent need of introducing and strengthening the guidance services in the schools of our country to meet the varied needs of the students, to help in the total development of the students, to enable students to make proper choices at various stages of their educational career, for vocational development, and to make the best possible adjustments to the situations in their school as well as in the homes. Due to lack of proper guidance, many students are unable to make appropriate educational or vocational choices and usually depend on others instead of relying on themselves to decide their future endeavors, without knowing whether they possess the required abilities or not. It is therefore necessary to help them in understanding their self, their strengths, weaknesses, threats and opportunities while opting for any course or job. Their self-understanding and awareness help them to improve their self-efficacy and self-esteem. This can be accomplished through a well-planned guidance and counseling support system. Guidance and counseling is a support service intended to help students to manage their personal problems, understand their strengths, weaknesses, resolve problems pertaining to educational accomplishments, and to judiciously select a career. In recent times, the significance of guidance and counseling services is very much recognized for helping students, especially in secondary and senior secondary schools, to understand their potentials and to make appropriate decisions. These services are also acknowledged for helping students to optimize their social and emotional adjustments. A well-planned guidance services organized by school authorities would facilitate academic, social, emotional and career development of students. Major function of guidance services in the school is to accelerate learning among students. It aims to develop higher order thinking. It helps students with learning difficulties to overcome these difficulties and improve their scholastic achievement. Now let us talk about important functions of school guidance services. First, helping the students in making the best possible adjustment to the current situations and in the educational institution and occupational world, in the home and in the community. Second, to orientate the students in problems of educational programming, career planning and direction towards long-term personal aims and values. Third, helping the students to achieve self-development, self-direction and self-realization. Thus, learning about the individual student, helping him to understand himself, effecting change in himself and his environment, which will help him to grow and develop as much as possible, are the three main elements of guidance services to be provided by the schools. The guidance services in school is necessary for the following reasons: to help in the total development of the students, to help in making proper choice at various stages of their educational career, to help students in vocational development, to help students make the best possible adjustments to the situations in the schools as well as in the homes, to minimize the mismatch between education and unemployment, to identify and motivate the students from weaker sections of society, to check wastage and stagnation, to identify and help students in need of special help, to minimize the incidence of indiscipline. Now let us talk about some other student welfare services. Scholarship provision. Adequate financial assistance should be provided to the meritorious students from poor families to meet their expenses while pursuing studies. Transport facility. Sufficient transportation services should be made available for the convenience of students. The school buses should serve all major residential areas and its suburbs. The routes of the school buses should be drawn up keeping in mind the needs of the students hailing from distant places. Lastly, hostel facility. Separate hostel facilities for boys and girls supervised by wardens should be provided to the students who hail from distant places. With this, I conclude my lecture. Hope you have understood and enjoyed. Thank you for watching.